It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl, the science quiz game here in the Prince George's schools. We test IQs for elementary and middle school students. Today's 6 outstanding elementary students. Let's meet them now. First, from Mother Jones Elementary School, would you please say hello to Jaleesa Iglesias Cruz, Abigail Sandoval, and Matthew Astorga. And from Ridgecrest Elementary, here they are, Haywan Toliara, Jada Nunez, and Marquise Hines. And now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on the Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to question difficulty, with the easier questions on the left worth 5 and 10, the tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points, no penalties ever for incorrect answers. End of the 2 rounds today, we will have a competitor for another game as we head toward the semifinals in this, our 30th year of Science Bowl competition. Let's go over and make sure everything works properly. Red team, Abigail, would you try your buzzer? Thank you. Good luck to you, to Matthew, and to Jaleesa. And Jada, would you try your buzzer, please? Green one looks like it's ready and raring to go. Good luck to you and to Haywan and to Marquise. Congratulations on being here today. You are great ambassadors for your school. We're going to have a good game. Let's go alphabetically here, M before R. So Abigail, Mother Jones gets to start. Pick a category and a number for me, please.
Dateline Science for 10.
Dateline Science for 10 points to start us out. There is a new Pixar movie called Inside Out that takes place inside of a little girl's brain. There are 5 emotions that are tugging away in there. I'll give you 10 points if you can give me 2 of the emotions in her brain. Mother Jones.
Pass it to Matthew.
Matthew.
Anger and joy.
Anger and joy and sadness and disgust. All of those, you got them. You got 2. You're on the board. Go red.
Dateline Science for 5.
Dateline Science for 5 points. Teams, the new Tesla SUV car was just introduced. And like the Tesla sedan, you fuel it not by pulling up and filling your gas tank with gasoline, but by pulling up and recharging your what? Ridgecrest?
Your battery?
Your battery, yeah, it's a battery-powered car. And Tesla wants to make giant batteries for our houses as well. Okay, go green.
Zoo Parade for 10. Zoo Parade for 10.
Zoo Parade for 10 points. Teams, we don't know if it was a Ram or a U, but the Caps player Alex Ovechkin recently received for his birthday one of these barnyard animals. Ridgecrest. What you want to tell me?
I'll pass it to Marquise.
Marquise?
A ram.
No, I said, we don't know whether it was a ram or a ewe, but Ovechkin received one of these animals for his birthday. Mother Jones? Barnyard animal. It's a sheep. A ram is a male sheep, a ewe is a female sheep. And because he speaks Russian, he told his teammates, they gave me a ship for my birthday. He meant a sheep. Go green. Okay, Jada, you pick it. You're in the boss. You're in the driver's seat over there.
Zoo Parade for 5.
Zoo Parade for 5 points. Teams, every year, the Discovery Channel devotes a whole week of programming to these deadly Ridgecrest.
Sharks?
Yeah, it's Shark Week on Discovery Channel. That's right. Each year it gets more and more wild. Go green.
Let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for 10 points. Teams, the autumnal equinox is so named because on that date, the sun is directly above what imaginary line on Earth? Ridgecrest?
The equator?
Equator, yeah, come on. I'm giving some clues here. Talk to each other. Good, go green.
Body systems for 15. Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. Two-part answer. I will need both parts to give you 15 points. Teams, most snake venom affects what two body systems in its victims most often? If a snake bites a person, what two body systems are most often affected? Two body systems. Mother Jones.
Veins and hearts.
Well, veins and hearts are both part of the same system, so you got just one. Ridgecrest, what two body systems now most often affected by snake venom, Jada?
Your veins and your blood cells?
No, again, that's both. You're all talking about circulation. Circulatory system is one. The respiratory system, the breathing system, is the other. No points, but good tries. Go green again. You still have a 10-point advantage, Jada.
Science potpourri for 10.
Science potpourri for 10 points is a visual question. Look at the monitor, please, in the studio. Teams, these giant sponges are becoming more and more numerous in the oceans because as the oceans get more acidic, it is causing the disappearance of what other kinds of growths that were normally the home to Nemo and his friends, Mother Jones.
Pass it on to Matthew. Seaweed.
Not seaweed. What kind of growths, what kind of structures normally are found in the seas? The sponges are taking over because it's getting too acidic. Those are the places where Nemo and his friends lived. Coral reefs. Coral reefs. Try again, green.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, you know, in the fall, if you're a gardener, when everything has stopped growing, you plant things like rye that will grow over the winter, and then next spring you can plow it underneath because it'll be good fertilizer. What's another name for fertilizer? It's a green version of this that normally cows and pigs and chickens produce. Fertilizer that cows and pigs and chickens produce, Abigail.
Dairy.
Not dairy, no. Ridgecrest, what's the name of that kind of fertilizer that you get from those farm animals? Manure. Manure, cow manure, pig manure, chicken manure, and that's green manure that you're actually causing when you plow those plants under. The buzzer is rung. We've come to the end of the first round of play. Not much of a score at this point. Ridgecrest at 70, Mother Jones at 60. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Imagine a child struggling to breathe, to speak, to eat. That's the tragic reality for the thousands of children born every year in the developing world with a cleft palate or cleft lip. Yet all it takes is a simple surgery that costs as little as $250 to repair a cleft and change a child's life forever. Please call. Your gift of any amount will help.
Call 1-800-953-2458 or visit www.savemary.com.
Simple moments are what make every day count.
And welcome back to Science Bowl. Nice to have you here today. 6 outstanding young people here playing our game, all elementary students. And we've had some tough questions, but they are some tough competitors too. And we're going to see that score go up here in the second half. Let's go to Mother Jones. Mary Harris Mother Jones, a relatively new school over there in the College Park area. And who's your principal, Abigail?
Miss Brown.
Miss Brown, and I know she's a big fan of Science Bowl. And the sponsor of your team?
Miss Taylor.
Miss Taylor, and she's out there. We thank Miss Taylor for all she has done. She was in here taking pictures of you guys before because she's so proud of you, and I know you're going to do her proud today. Tell me, do you have any alternates on your team, Abigail?
No.
No. So you're it, huh?
Yeah.
You are the team, and you're doing a nice job here today. What's the best thing about Mother Jones? What do you really like about the school?
I like because there's technology and we're able to learn on it, and there's new programs, and we could also learn about robots and robotics.
Yeah, technology is so important today, but you also have a very nice garden area, I know, in front of your school, and there used to be a nature path in the back. Is that still there?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a beautiful school, and I always enjoy going over there. Abigail, what do you want to do someday?
I want to be a pediatrician.
And I think whatever you want, you're going to succeed. You have a lot of confidence, and I like that you're a responsible young lady. I see you're a safety patrol there, so you're doing all the right things. So nice to have you here today. Matthew, good to have you here. How do you know so much about science?
Well, I studied for a while. Like when they first told us about Science Bowl. Before I signed up, I studied just to be sure in case I went.
Yeah, and so here you are, see, and all that studying, it pays off, doesn't it? Here you are, an ambassador for Mother Jones. What do you see yourself doing someday?
I want to be a scientist.
Yeah, well, you're in the right place here. Keep up your good work here, and Julissa, nice to have you here today. This young lady, I asked her earlier, she said she plays crab soccer, and she said, let me tell you what that is, Mr. Z. What is crab soccer for the people listening?
Crab soccer is playing soccer, but instead of standing up, you're crawling.
Like a crab, huh?
Yeah.
You're down on the ground there. It sounds like fun. It helps if you're a little person, maybe, huh? Yeah. You're an athlete and you're a scholar, and someday do you want to be a professional soccer player, or what do you have in mind?
In my mind, I have maybe I could be an astronaut.
An astronaut, wow. And you know, right now, our astronauts have to fly on Russian ships. By the time you're ready, we're going to have our own ships back again here in the U.S. We'll look for you in space someday, Julissa. All right, Ridgecrest, nice to have you here. I like your matching shirts over there. It says the Ridgecrest Science Geeks, right?
Yes.
And geeks are cool now. They're very cool, and you guys are pretty cool looking. Jada, tell us about Ridgecrest. Who's your principal?
Our principal is Miss Dunn.
Wonderful. And she is a former Teacher of the Year. She is a very distinguished educator. And who's the sponsor of your team? Or do you have two sponsors?
One.
Who's the sponsor?
Miss Rowley.
Miss Rowley. And she's out there. She's so proud of you guys. She's wearing the same blue shirt you've got on. And there was another teacher here, I think, who had on a white lab coat. No?
Yes.
Yeah. And what's his name?
Mr. Brewer.
And he'll be out in a few moments as well. Any alternates on your team?
Two.
Who are they?
Gorgeous and Christian.
And
Christopher.
We'll see Christopher and Gorgeous in a few moments here. I asked the same thing I asked of Abigail. What do you brag about when you talk about Ridgecrest?
When we brag about Ridgecrest, the thing that we like about it is that it has a bunch of programs to take out the creative side of you.
Yeah, boy, because that's it. We all want to create something that's unique, you know, that kind of reflects our own personality, whether it's in sports or arts or science. So if you've got that opportunity there, you're in a great place. All right, let's get back to our game. 70-60. Let's get some points, right? All right, we know how to do this thing now. All right, green team, start us out, Jada.
Dateline Science for 15.
Did you say what?
Dateline Science.
Dateline Science for 15 points. Teams, Legionnaire's disease is caused, we know now, by the Legionella bacteria that is found in these units found on the tops of buildings that keep our buildings cool. What kind of units are they? Ridgecrest.
Air units.
Yes, keeping cool.
Air conditioning.
Air
units.
conditioning, that's right, exactly right. Good, go. Green, please. Okay.
Science potpourri for 5.
Science potpourri for 5 points. Teams, if you watch the Disney Channel, you might have seen this show about some teenagers. It sounds like it's about some social insects, but it actually is an acronym that stands for Advanced Natural Talent Farm. Ridgecrest.
I'm going to pass it to Marquise.
Ant farm.
Yeah, he was yelling that to Jada. Ant farm, ant farm. He knows exactly right. Good answer, young man. Good. Go, Green.
Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, your question is as follows. If you are on Science Bowl, you're probably one of the best students in the school. And you might say that you are a couple body parts better. You are head and what above everybody else? Head and what above everybody else? All right, Mother Jones.
Pass it on to Matthew.
Matthew.
Head over heels.
No, that's a good, no, not head over heels. That's a good try. Your head and what other body part above everybody else?
Head and shoulders.
Head and shoulders. That's what I want to hear. Good. All right. And they're going, we just tried. See what happens if you make a guess? That's just terrific. I want to go back for just a moment here to Ridgecrest because we were talking about the school, and I don't know that we had a chance to interview Haywan and Marquise. Is that correct? Yeah, we want to make sure we don't slight anybody here. Jada, tell us a little bit about what you want to do when you get older.
I want to become an electrical engineer.
Yeah, so you're also a very good math student, and you're very disciplined over there, I can tell. And Marquise wants to be not just in the National Basketball League. He plays basketball now. You want to be a star someday. Are you going to be the next big star of the Cleveland Cavaliers when King James leaves? What do you think, Marquise?
No.
You're kind of a realist over there. Why'd you want to be on our show?
Because like science, it like understands me. Like I like how animals, like how you study animals, and I like snakes and stuff, and all animals like insects, and that like brought me.
I love that. That's a natural curiosity about the world we live in, and that serves you well because you want to find out how things work and how's that thing live, how's it eat, where's it go to sleep, that kind of stuff. That's great. That's great. Good to have you here. And hey, tell us about yourself because you have an interesting story too. What do you do in your spare time?
In my spare time, I like to play my violin, and I like to play with my 2 little sisters as well.
Wow. And I'm sure they're going to watch you. You're kind of the role model.
Mm-hmm.
And Haywan was telling me earlier that her mom works at nursing homes, and does she work at hospitals as well, did you say? And you've had the chance to go around and play tennis at some of those venues, and you really discovered you like tennis.
Yes.
So you like tennis, and you're a violinist, and you know an awful lot about science, and someday you will be doing what?
I want to be a surgeon.
A surgeon, wow. You have your head on your shoulders very, very tightly there. We were talking about head and shoulders there, and you're playing the game really well. And you're a violinist as well, aren't you, Jada?
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. All right. My apologies for overlooking you guys. I didn't want you to feel that we weren't interested in your stories there. Last correct answer came from the green team, so Ridgecrest, would you continue?
Zoo parade for 20.
Zoo parade for 20 points. Teams, your question is as follows. Boy, I think you know this one. Back in 1890, a writer in England decided all the birds that appeared in Shakespeare's stories should be in America. So he brought these blackbirds over to America, and now they are a pest. They are a pest, Mother Jones.
Scarecrows?
Not scarecrows, no. These are real things now, real birds. These birds, these blackbirds that were brought over from England because they had appeared in Shakespeare, are now such a pest that they and sparrows are always around our houses trying to build nests inside. What are the names of those blackbirds that are a pest?
Ravens.
Starlings. Starlings. There's the ones with the yellow beaks that go poking around all the time. All right, try again, Green.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Teams, in the new movie, The Martian, we know that astronaut grows plants on Mars. He actually could do that because on Mars we know that there is this chemical element in the soil, the same chemical element that makes up most of the air that we breathe. Most of the air that we breathe. Mother Jones, have an answer in case I have to come to you. Jada?
Oxygen.
Not oxygen. Good try. What element is in the soil on Mars that could be used for growing plants. It's the same element that makes up most of the air we breathe.
Iron.
Nitrogen. Nitrogen. The air is mostly nitrogen, and nitrogen is so important in the growth of plants. All right, let's try again. Green team.
Let's get physical for 20.
Get physical for 20 points is a multiple choice question. Teams, maybe you didn't know this before, but if you're a cook, you might have known it. You have to cook things differently at high elevations as opposed to if you live at sea level. So in Denver, if you were boiling water, as opposed to living here in Washington, Denver's a mile high, would water boil at a lower temperature than here, a higher temperature than here, or the same temperature as here? Ridgecrest.
Higher?
Nope. Mother Jones, would that water in Denver, because it's at such a high elevation, boil at a lower temperature, a higher temperature, or the same temperature?
Lower.
Lower is correct. Yes, indeed. All right. You got a gift from Ridgecrest that time, all right, because they took one of the choices away. Now you got to earn them, okay? 80 to 100. Come on, Abigail.
Dateline science for 20.
Dateline science for 20 points. Teams, when hurricanes are really bad, like Andrew and Katrina, they retire the name. They never use it again. They have also retired the name of the superstorm that hit 3 years ago in 2012, that has the same name as Orphan Annie's dog and the squirrel that lives with SpongeBob under the sea. Name that storm, Ridgecrest.
Sandy.
Yes. Good. Green. Do you see how I'm giving you clues? Just stay with me, and as soon as you have an idea, ring that buzzer. Go, Green. Jada?
Zoo parade for 15.
Zoo parade for 15 points. Teams, Yogi Berra, who was a famous New York Yankee catcher, died recently, and he always mangled the English language. He always said things that really didn't make any sense. And he was trying to describe a baseball player that was a switch hitter that could bat left or right. He wanted to say the word ambidextrous, but what he said was, he hits from both sides of the plate. He's this, describing what kind of animals that live both in the water and on land. Ridgecrest?
Amphibians?
Yeah, he said he's amphibious. He meant to say he's ambidextrous. Good listening. Go, Green.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Teams, in the fall, the leaf peepers go out. People who like to see the fall leaves. They come out when what pigment in the leaves starts to disappear? What pigment in the leaves starts to disappear, Ridgecrest?
I'm going to pass it to Haywan.
Haywan.
Chlorophyll.
You got that right. I saw the light bulb go off over your head. Good. Go, Green.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25. The big one in that category. Come on, Mother Jones, you need this. It's a visual question. It's worth 25 points. That means you look at the monitor in the studio, please. These are the famed cherry blossoms in Washington, down at the mall in Washington around the tidal basin. There are no cherries that grow on these trees. They're just pretty. And a name for a plant that is grown because it is decorative or it is pretty is what O initial term, the same term as the shiny things you put on a Christmas tree.
Ornaments.
Thank you. Just wait till I recognize you. Mother Jones, say it again with feeling.
Ornaments.
Ornaments, yes, it is an ornamental tree. Good. Go, Abigail. See, I told you I'd give you clues. Go.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, Tarzan used to swing on these green things. It's also yeah, Mother Jones?
Vine.
A vine, yeah. It's also a social media platform, as in I heard it through the grapevine. Go, Red.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. Teams, this is a multiple choice question. It's a spelling question, so listen carefully. If you're sick, if your tonsils get inflamed, if your appendix gets inflamed, if your skin gets inflamed, does the condition end in the letters ITIS, OSIS, or OMA? ITIS, OSIS or OMA if you've got problems with itchy skins or an inflamed appendix or an infected tonsil.
I pass it to
Hey, Juan.
ITIS.
Yes, ma'am. As in appendicitis and tonsillitis and dermatitis. Good listening, go green.
Dateline Science for 25.
Dateline for 25 points. You can be a good surgeon, hey, Juan. This is the question for you in Dateline for 25 points. Teams, your question is as follows. There is a new book out called How to Build a Dinosaur. The new science of reverse. What is the E-initialed science where we watch how plants and animals change over the course of time, adapting more and more to their environments? E-initialed. We're going to reverse what process to come up with dinosaurs again, Ridgecrest?
Elapse.
Not elapse, no. Come on, Mother Jones, you need these 25 points. What's that process where plants and animals over the course of time keep changing and adapting? Evolution. Evolution. Try again, green.
Let's get physical for 15.
Let's get physical for 15 points. Teams, a multiple choice question. Teams, your cell phone works because of radio waves, gravity waves, or sound waves. Your cell phone works because of which?
Radio waves?
Yes, good. Red, go.
Science potpourri for 25.
Science potpourri for 25 points, teams. People said it could not be done, but scientists have unboiled an egg. They have used chemicals to make the white of the egg become liquid again. That white of the egg has what kind of P-initialed food stuff in it? Protein. Protein. It's protein in egg white. That buzzer says we can't go any further. Our game was getting really competitive. Still a great one. We'll be back with a wrap-up in a moment. Don't go away.
I tell people I have 3 kids. One of them's adopted. I just don't know which one.
I can't imagine having to be in a birth mother's position to make that choice.
You know, I was kind of just asking her, you know, what is your motivation? Why are you doing this? And she looked at me and she said, because you can give my son a life that I could not.
We always tell her, thank you. He is such a blessing to us.
Every day is just a ray of sunshine from him. So we're Chanda and Brian, and we chose adoption.
Sometimes I want more information about what's in a video game.
Now there's a new way to get rating information along with in-depth rating summaries.
Players shoot lasers from an arm cannon and limbs fly off.
Check the rating and use rating summaries anytime and anywhere. And best of all, they're free.
Formula One Racing.
For more information about the ratings and rating summaries, go to esrb.org/mobile.
And welcome back to Science Bowl. Boy, did we have fun here today. They got better and better as time went on, and then the buzzer rang. We hate to see them go. Our final tally today is Mother Jones 125, Ridgecrest 175, the team in blue. Congratulations. Haywan and Jada and Marquise. Marquise is finally smiling. After all this time here, we've got Gorgeous and Christopher back there. Wave to everybody. You're the wonderful alternates there. Miss Rowley, thank you for all you do. You're a great sponsor. Mr. Brewer, thank you for being here and wearing that lab coat. And yes, former Teacher of the Year and now Principal for all time, Denise Dunn over there. Thank you, Miss Dunn. And Mother Jones, you guys played a great game. You really came back. Jaleesa and Abigail and Matthew, you played a super game. And Miss Taylor, you always send us great teams here. Thanks for bringing Mother Jones to Science Bowl. We love having you here. We love having you too. We'll see you next time on another edition. Bye-bye.